Hi, welcome to this presentation on Spotfire in Environment, Health and Safety. In this presentation, I'll be showing you a little bit about how Spotfire can help you be first to getting insight into health and safety incidents, analysing those incidents, trying to find root causes of them, so that hopefully you can be first to action. Action that's, of course, particularly important in this area as we hope to maintain and improve the working lives of the staff in our oil fields and in our facilities. But moreover, of course, we also have to look at the risk to the business of EH&S incidents. What we hope to be able to do in Spotfire, and what a number of our customers already do, is to use a large amount of data that is around the organization that will point them to the root causes of environmental health and safety incidents and try to see root causes so that we can drive down incidents in the future. This should help us both with compliance and of course with protecting our licenses to operate. What I'd like to do now is to go into Spotfire for a few minutes and show you the types of analysis that are available to you.
So what are we looking at here? Well, one of the ways that I can display data in Spotfire is through the use of a map, and here I've got a map of the Norwegian coastline, and each of my fields has overlain onto it a pie chart. This pie chart is showing the number of incidences. So the total volume of incidents is represented by the overall size of the pie chart, and then within it I've simply colour coded the severity of the incidents. So that's one way I can look at data. I also have a selector here. I can look at different types of incidents: construction, deck-based incidents. And as you can see, as I select each of these, the pie charts change accordingly. When I have a look at diving, I can see that there's a particular problem in this field here. I've got a very large pie chart showing that there's a lot of incidents taking place, and I've got a lot of them in red, which is my highest level of severity. If I want to have a look at those incidents, I can simply select this field, and now it shows me all the different types of injuries that are taking place, and the colour coding here has been maintained to show the severity of incidents. There are lots of other ways I can analyse this data as well, and what I'm going to do here is just to view the filter panel, which shows us all of the data, or all of the data columns that have been brought into Spotfire for this analysis from my incident reporting system, my HR system. Every column becomes a filter, and the filters differ according to the type of data that Spotfire sees. For example, for things like time of day data, I get a slider bar which allows me to select certain periods of the day. If I have a look specifically at 1500 hours, I can see that this field here has a particular problem at this time of day. I wonder if that's a shift change, and maybe some of the protocols for shift changes are not being followed at that particular time of day. Let's go and have a deeper look though at this problem field I have in diving and these particular serious incidents. On my second page here, I've got a representation of what injuries might look like in terms of location on the human body. And I can look at the type of injury and create what we call a trellis. Now I get this representation repeated, and I can see not only the location of the injury, but what type of injury it was. There seem to be a lot of injuries around the hand area. Let's have a look at that in a bit more detail. Again, I can see the types of injuries here on the bar chart, and the severity, they're all level 5 severity. So I've got a particular problem with hand injuries in diving. And down the bottom here, I've got a heat map. This heat map is showing me some more data coming from my HR system. For example, the age range of the divers. It seems I've got a particular problem with younger divers between 20 and 30. Maybe there's a training issue here. Maybe they're not experienced in that particular field. Maybe they need more experience underwater. We can have a look at any of the other sets of information within Spotfire to try and drill down and find a root cause. The type of dive, that might be one thing. I could add that onto my hierarchy. Well, it looks like a lot of these incidents are happening in deep water. So pretty quickly I've been able to follow a path through. I've been looking generally at the number of incidents there are in my fields. I focused down on the high severity injuries in a particular field and for a particular type of activity, in this case diving. I've been able to find out that a lot of incidents are happening to my younger divers, diving in deep water, and they're having a lot of hand injuries. One of the things we say about Spotfire is first to insight means first to action. And certainly if this was a real analysis, I could now go back to perhaps my diving instructors and my diving department and say, you know, we've got to find out how we can train our younger divers better. Or maybe I want to put some more experienced divers in my deep water situations.
What we've seen in this demonstration today are some of the unique differentiators that Spotfire brings to the market in allowing you to explore and discover trends in your data. Dimension-free data exploration allowed us to drag and drop our dimensions onto the graphs and charts that we were looking at in order to find more information, to explore routes through our data that you simply couldn't do in a fixed cube type environment. That's also enabled through something that we call data mashup, being able to bring lots of different data sources together in one analysis. This is particularly important in the types of analysis such as HS&E when we're looking for root cause. You really can't choose to exclude any particular type of data that might contribute to the cause of an EH&S incident. If you do, then your root cause analysis may be showing a false positive. Moving beyond this though with Spotfire, you can also come into some other interesting areas which I didn't show you today. The first of these is the predictive area. Where are the next incidences going to happen? Where are my areas of risk in terms of future EH&S incidents? We can help you build statistical models that will use your existing data and data from outside the organization to provide an even better way of preventing incidents in the future. And I also would like to draw your attention to the contextual areas within Spotfire. Spotfire allows you to share your analysis with fellow users so that when you come to an area of insight, such as the one that we did with the deep sea divers, you're able to bookmark that, show it to other users, show them how you came to your analysis, and that will help with the decision-making process as we move from insight through to action. And lastly, of course, all this needs to happen within an enterprise class environment. We need to respect the data governance rules that underlie your data, and be able to perform at big data levels. And all of this is available within Spotfire. Thank you for viewing this presentation today. If you would like some more information, please contact your account manager or visit us at www.spotfire.tibco.com, and you'll find additional information on health and safety there. Thank you very much.